Mexico, a land filled with mystery and legend. More than 400 years ago, it was a major source of precious metals for the Spanish crown. Historians say that Mazatlan's harbor was frequently attacked by pirates, who used it as a hiding place from where they would pounce on rich gold and silver-laden Spanish galleons that traveled up and down the Pacific coast.
El puerto de Mazatlán fue utilizado por diversos grupos de piratas.
The port of Mazatlan was utilized by various groups of European pirates, mostly English, French, and some Dutch, that used the Bay of Mazatlan,
La bahía de Mazatlán, las islas de Mazatlán como se le conocían.
the islands of Mazatlan as the area was known then,
Y desde aquí,
to hide themselves, and from here attack the Spanish galleons that came from Asia and the Philippines to the port of Acapulco.
Estas embarcaciones hacían su navegación.
These ships navigated, made their itinerary through the Philippines to the point of Baja California, what we now know as Los Cabos.
Conocemos como Los Cabos. Y de ahí empezaban hacia el sur a navegar costa.
And from there, they headed south along the coast to the port of Acapulco.
Entonces, los piratas, conociendo ese itinerario, venían hasta Mazatlán desde...
Then the pirates, knowing this itinerary, came to Mazatlan from Europe. Here they readied their ships to attack the Spanish ships.
Barcos a las naos españolas, y uno de ellos, Sir Thomas Cavendish.
One of them, Sir Thomas Cavendish, obtained the greatest treasure of the history of those times, attacking the ship Santana directly in front of the coast of Mazatlan.
Las costas de Mazatlán.
The massive tonnage of gold and silver produced by the mines in the foothills of the Sierra Madre Mountains attracted even the most notorious English and French pirates. The colonial government finally took action, and the pirates were gone by 1800. But the legend of buried treasure is still alive. After intensive research, the team of Travel Secrets Mexico came to the conclusion that there must still be gold, silver, and other treasure in this area. This conclusion was based on the fact that Mazatlan and the nearby mining towns of Copala and Rosario were the hub for most of the gold and silver transports to Spain. Spanish galleons sailed treasure-laden around Cape Horn to Florida on a northerly course until the weather allowed them to branch off for crossing the Atlantic Ocean to Spain. Many of these ships sunk during hurricanes, scattering their valuable cargo along the coast of Florida. Gold and silver coins, jewelry and relics worth millions of dollars are found on a regular basis by recreational and professional treasure hunters. Some of these ships did not make it to the East Coast. They sunk in bad weather right in front of Mazatlan. The remains of two sunken ships close to the islands are proof. So far, no one has searched for the treasure they carried.
Tenemos idea de varios encuentros importantes con los piratas.
We have an idea of various important pirate findings near the coast of Mazatlan, but it isn't very precise as to where the attacks took place. For example, as in the case of Cavendish, what we do know is that Cavendish took almost all of the cargo from the ship Santana. It was worth so much that England gave him the title of Sir to call himself a noble, thanks to the important operation he realized here.
Gracias a esa operación importante que realizó acá. Sin embargo, también sabemos que con posterioridad.
However, we also know that subsequently in the 19th century, near the coast of Mazatlan, various ships sunk with important cargoes. Not as the product of pirate attacks, but because of the storms that are normally here in the months of August through November of each year.
En los meses de agosto a noviembre de cada año.
It makes a lot of sense to assume there is still some hidden treasure, specifically near the mines and along the way to Mazatlan Harbor, because the transports were robbed frequently. This is why Travel Secrets Mexico invites treasure hunters from all over the world to come to Mazatlan and participate in the first systematic treasure hunt in this fascinating area. This is a recreational treasure hunt for families and individuals who want to be part of an exciting adventure. The search for the lost pirate treasure of Mazatlan, or the gold and silver in Copala, Rosario, El Fuerte and Cosalá is a real treasure hunt with a real probability of finding gold and silver. All participants in Treasure Hunt Mexico go through an interesting one-day training. During this introduction, they get acquainted with archaeological field techniques. They learn how to handle a metal detector, identify the best search sites, and how to pan for gold in rivers and creeks. There is a lot of treasure out there, and with a little preparation and persistence, it can be found. Jean George, a longtime international resident of Mazatlan, can prove it.
Well, my son likes to collect coins. I like to find them and give them to him, but I found one coin, golden blue, I believe it called, and it was dated 1818, and it had to come over from the old country. I couldn't believe it. And here it was on the beach of Mazatlan, one of the most beautiful places in the world. In fact, Copala, where we have our extra home up there, it's a mining town, and they have gold. Up there have gold, and they've had these from years and years back. And you find many, many relics of all different kinds, gold, silver, you name it, you can find it. This is a paradise for that.
There's more than just the gold from the Spanish fleets and the ships that sank during storms. There's the treasure the pirates left behind, and the gold nuggets in the rivers and creeks of the foothills of the Sierra Madre Mountains. Mazatlan has always been known as a vacation paradise, but most tourists come to enjoy its beautiful beaches, its rich culture, and the historic downtown. However, Treasure Hunt Mexico is about to reveal the other treasures these towns and cities have to offer. Taking a treasure hunting vacation in Mazatlan could be very profitable. Choose an area and go to work. All you need is a metal detector and a shovel to get started. And if you don't have your own detector, you can rent one from our tour provider. If you prefer shipwreck diving or snorkeling around the islands in search of pirate treasure there, you'll have the opportunity to go with Treasure Hunt Mexico's experienced team of professionals managed by Aqua Sports. Mazatlan's ruins are another good place to hunt for treasure. People hid their valuables in cisterns, the walls, or under the floors of their homes because they didn't like to use the banks.
Pues es difícil precisar, pero hay muchos tesoros escondidos.
It is difficult to specify, but there are many hidden treasures in this region, not only those left behind by pirates.
Por muchos años, el oro de Copala, de Pánuco, de Guadalupe de los Reyes en Cosala.
But also the gold that came from the mines in Copala, Pánuco, Guadalupe de los Reyes and Cosala, to the ships in Mazatlan.
Muchos de los grandes tesoros de esa época.
Much of the great treasures of that period were buried along some of the roads,
En alguna de las casonas antiguas donde la gente
or in big houses where people preferred to hide their money and things of importance, mostly gold and silver, to guard them from the bandits of the 19th century
en el siglo XIX o a los revolucionarios en la época
or the revolutionaries of the Mexican Civil War in 1910 to 1917.
Sabemos que en Mazatlán se han encontrado.
We know when they remodeled old houses in Mazatlan, some have found money and jewelry because the people who lived there before had hidden them in the foundations and walls.
Porque la gente de antes así usaba sus cimientos de sus casas, sobre todo uno de los.
One of the important aspects of the old houses of Mazatlan was their cisterns.
Era lo que se llama los aljibes, las enormes cisternas que prácticamente en todas las casas viejas de Mazatlán existen.
People stored water in these huge water reservoirs underneath the structure of their houses.
Las habitaciones donde la gente almacenaba.
Because there wasn't a direct source of water.
Directa, no había un río o un arroyo que proveyera.
Not a river or stream that provided sweet water to the inhabitants.
La gente de antes vivía del agua del cielo, de la que llovía.
The people back then lived on rainwater.
Para mantenerla fresca y poder vivir de esa agua. Y en esos lugares,
They stored it for a few months and kept it fresh.
Según las leyendas, espacios donde la gente...
According to legend, there are places in these cisterns where people kept their jewelry, their gold and silver. Some have left them there, forgotten, and to this day, they are still there.
We are here in the roof of the Jonathan Boutique Hotel in the century story of Mazatlan. And the thing that we know here in the house, it was built in 1890. The owner was Mr. and Mrs. Delgadillo, who were in mining business. The story says when the construction of the house started, they found treasures for golden treasures.
Treasure Hunt Mexico is without a doubt the most exciting adventure vacation you can take alone, with friends, or with your family. Here's why. You will be taken back in time to the years of the Great Gold Rush. Immerse yourself in the history and culture of the region, and relive the days of colonial splendor. You will also discover why treasure hunting is fun for all ages. Kids will participate in the treasure hunt adventure. They search at the beach with metal detectors, find hidden pirate gold and silver doubloon replicas, and win prizes. Almost every kid wants to be a treasure hunter at some point. Here they can have their own experience filled with surprises and plenty of smiles.
Because I do come from a long line of treasure hunters, I like to say that we welcome treasure hunters, not just here at the hotel, but in the city. Being we were founded in 1830, you'll find dozens of treasures, if not hundreds of treasures. As a matter of fact, here in the hotel, we do a few activities that relate to that. I have a kids club that's specifically designed for kids between 2 and 12. One of the activities that we do is set aside an area, kind of grid it out, allow some of the kids to find stuff. Sometimes we hide treasures there, I gotta admit. But the truth is watching the eyes of somebody when they're able to pull something out of the ground is inspiring. And it creates unforgettable memories, which is our slogan for the hotel.
Mazatlan was named in 2012 by TripAdvisor as the best family tourism destination in Mexico. We're very proud of that designation because they talk about the hundreds of things to do in Mazatlan as a family.
A trip to Rosario, a small town about 50 miles south of Mazatlan, is one of the high points for treasure hunters. Rosario has over 40 miles of underground tunnels that were dug during the 290 years of commercial mining. As the miners got closer and closer to the Baluarte River, a breach in an underground shaft permitted the river to flood the mines, and the rich gold veins were lost. That was then, but today, modern mining technology makes it possible to resume mining the Rosario gold veins. With gold selling at a 26-year high, could there be a second gold rush in the region? Several gold mining companies from Mexico, Canada, Australia, and Europe think so. They started new projects and are already producing significant amounts of gold. Rosario is one of the 3 magic towns in the region. It received this designation from the Mexican government for its beautiful houses, buildings, and streets, but particularly for its stunning colonial church with a spectacular golden altar. The altar was a gift from the Spaniards to the church for being so kind to allow the original cathedral to be dismantled and reconstructed, because it was literally standing over solid gold.
We check it out with our metal detectors and it's pure gold.
Yeah, the altarpiece was made of pure gold. The Spanish gave the money to relocate the altarpiece from the previous church to on this site.
Can you tell us what are they doing right now?
We are doing all the conservation treatments for the altarpiece. We start with the fixing the structure and finally with the gold leaf, doing some patching, retouching on the altarpiece and the sculptures.
Today, part of the ruins of the first cathedral remain, and an identical church building stands just a few hundred yards away. Rosario is a must-see on a trip to Mazatlan. The Baluarte River is another interesting place to look for gold. Mining experts say that approximately 70 million cubic meters of sand and gravel exist along the river next to Rosario. Geologists agree it's reasonable to believe that the gravel and the black sand within the huge floodplain contain high quantities of free gold. Panning on the shores of the river is therefore one of the activities on the action plan for treasure hunters. Along the Baluarte River are several one-man gold extracting facilities. They work with permission of the government. The raw materials come from the nearby mountains, where small-scale miners work really hard to fill the buckets. The stones are then crushed in a primitive stone mill. Chemicals are used to extract the grains or microscopic particles embedded in the rocks. The process is very strenuous and results in only 2 to 3 grams of gold out of 5 buckets of stone, just enough to feed the family. Also located in the foothills of the Sierra Madre Mountains is Copala. This town was one of the region's wealthiest towns because its mines produced massive amounts of gold and silver. Copala is a lovely place with cobblestone streets, colonial architecture, a stunning mountain view, and a few active gold mines. One of the mines is just 5 minutes from the center of this charming little village. Here, treasure hunters can see a small mine in action and take home a piece of ore, a stone that includes some gold. Treasure hunters find old buildings and property in Copala and friendly owners who are willing to give permission to search them. The next stop is El Fuerte, meaning the fort. This old colonial mining town is one of the 3 magical towns. There's a lot to do in El Fuerte for treasure and legend hunters.
We are renovating the old mansion, the old Orante mansion. We're trying to turn it into a real beautiful hotel. When we were rebuilding the floors, the workers found some 15 gold coins, Spanish gold coins. They were into a leather bag. We were sure there's some more treasure hiding in there.
Legend has it that at the site where the Hotel Posada del Hidalgo stands is where the home of Zorro stood. So of course, the hotel makes a big deal of that, with statues and a happy hour every night where Zorro shows up and sings and dances.
Ese lunar que tienes, cielito lindo, junto a tu boca. No se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo, que a mí me toca. Ese lunar que tienes, cielito lindo, junto a tu boca. No se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo, que a mí me toca.
El Fuerte was a chief trading post for silver miners and gold seekers from the Urique and Badopilas mines in the nearby Sierra Madre Mountains and its branches. Mining experts discovered large deposits of placer gold along the El Fuerte River. Most of these deposits sit roughly 300 feet from the river's edge. That means that treasure hunters with a metal detector have a good chance to find some nice nuggets.
I found this gold nugget in a mine nearby El Fuerte with my ATX Garrett metal detector.
This is the paradise for the treasure hunters. Lots more than 400 mines of gold and silver, and many antiques and lots relics about all the things you want are here. Gold, silver, coins, and lots of antiques, swords, knife, or Winchesters, many things about the Spaniards and the Mexican Revolution, because Pancho Villa lost a fight in that area here, and all on the way here to the Copper Canyon is full of antiques.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God! Oh, UEFA!
Nice find.
Oh my God, it's mine! I can't believe it!
Oh, that should be at least 300 years old.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Yeah, you can see the mark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so exciting.
Oh, that's great, great. Congrats.
Thank you.
A friend of mine owns a gold mine. It's pretty close from here, from El Fuerte, and it's a little creek. They find gold every day, and from time to time, they found bigger nuggets.
El Fuerte is the entrance to Copper Canyon. This 10,000-mile maze of spectacular steep-walled gorges in the Sierra Madre mountain range is 4 times larger than the Grand Canyon. A trip to Copper Canyon with the historic Chihuahua El Pacifico Railroad is the experience of a lifetime. The train winds its way from the Pacific Ocean up into the heart of the canyon's scenic splendor. The Copper Canyon train ride is an inspiring journey that took more than 100 years to construct. Reader's Digest called it the most dramatic train ride in the Northern Hemisphere. National Geographic called it an engineering marvel that will take you from sea level to almost 8,000 feet via 86 tunnels and over 40 bridges in this unspoiled landscape in the 25,000 square mile canyons of the Sierra Madre. Our last stop on the way back to Mazatlan brings us to Cosala, another one of Mexico's designated magic towns. More than 2,000 years ago, pre-Hispanic tribes settled here as evidenced by their petroglyphs, which can be seen in several areas. Later, Spanish conquerors discovered mines here, and Cosala's mineral bounty fueled colonial ambition with gold and silver for centuries. Today, you can visit the biggest mine in western Mexico, Mina Guadalupe de los Reyes. Hondo, only 10 minutes away, tempts with river streams and waterfalls surrounded by lush vegetation. About a half an hour away, the hot springs in San Jose de las Bocas are considered sacred due to their mystic healing properties. The Mining and History Museum is an excellent place to learn a bit more about Cosala. It tells the history of a civilization and rebellion, and shows the mining tools used for over 4 centuries. Treasure hunting near the mines, rivers, and waterfalls can be very productive because the whole area around Cosala is rich in minerals. Cosala and other towns selected by Treasure Hunt Mexico are all exciting places to visit. They share certain symbolic attributes, beauty, legends, history, and traditions. In one word, magical. Treasure hunters not only find excellent conditions for metal detecting and gold panning in these places, they also discover the wonderful and unique characteristics of each of the magic towns in the area. Cosala means the place of surrounding beauty. Treasure hunting is fascinating, but combined with natural beauty, cultural riches, historical relevance, and legends, it is even more exciting. Follow us on Facebook or YouTube and leave the beaten path to discover the paradise for treasure hunting with Travel Secrets Mexico.
falte el aire, que nunca te falte el aire, que nunca te falte el aire.